Now that we have taken a close look at the closed pattern, the open pattern, and the silent E pattern, let's take a look how words can be broken up and can go onto different places on this chart. So one of the things that I'll do is I take the word and I'll write it at the top, but then I write where the syllable breaks it up. So I have row and bot. I'm going to put a space here and I'm going to ask the child, so where would RO on our chart go? And they would say open. I say, okay, how do we read this? And they tell me we read it as row. And if they don't tell me that we read it as row, then I explain, oh, let's remember what happens with the open pattern. When the vowel on the end is free, it's going to pop way up and say its name to me. So the name of the letter is O, so the sound it's going to make is O. Now the next part here is we've got bot, and I say, okay, so where would this go on our chart? And the child would then say, it goes under the closed. Excellent. Why does it go under the closed? And I listen that the child tells me that the vowel is squished in the middle, and then we talk about the vowel sound that it's making that aw sound. Let's take a look at an even bigger word. So we have potato here, which is 3 parts, which means that I'm going to break this word into 3 separate parts. So I have po, I have te, and I have toe. So I'm going to ask the child again, where does po go on our chart? And I'm going to listen for the child to tell me it goes under open, and we discuss, why does po go under open? Because the vowel on the end is free. Exactly. And then I'm going to put te here, and I'm going to put toe here. They all go in the open pattern. But notice how I'm putting them underneath each other. The reason why I'm putting them in underneath each other is because I want them to see them as a different part. It's not a whole word that goes here. It is when it's an actual word like go, but this is not an actual, this is a 3-part word, so I'm going to put them all underneath each other for the child to be able to see that it's 3 separate parts. And so then I'm going to give another example here where a child looks at this. They might look at this big word and be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what that is. I'm going to break it up right here. I'm going to say, where would this part go on the chart? They tell me underneath the clothes, and then I ask them if they can read this. And so if they can't read it, then we'll sound it out. I'll say, tell me the sound. And they'll say, S. I'll say, tell me the sound for this one. And they say, ah, d. Then I tell them to put that together, and they get sand. So I'm going to put the sand underneath that closed pattern. I'm going to ask them where this part goes. They're going to tell me again under the closed pattern, and we're going to talk about why that happens, why it goes there. Let's take a look at another word. This is a much bigger word. So I'm going to ask them, where does this go on the chart? How do I say it? What sound is that vowel making? And then I put it underneath here for my. They're going to tell me the same thing for crow. And then for wave, this particular one's going to go underneath the silent E pattern. So that's one way to take apart these words and be able to show them how they can go into different parts of the chart and how to break it up by syllables. Remember, this word, microwave, has 3 syllables. So it's got 3 parts, and 3 parts can go onto 3 different parts of the chart. It can go onto 2 different parts of the chart. It can go on one part of the chart, like potato did. But the point is for them to see that these are syllables and they go on to where they belong on the chart.